Every time I watch Zootopia, my eye catches new characters that I didn't see the previous time. I then start to think each one of these animals needed to be created to be unique and populate this amazing city. Add to that, they had to walk on 2 legs and wear clothes. Try fitting a tail through a pair of khakis. It's not easy. To talk about characters, we joined Character Look and Development Supervisor Michelle Robinson, Head of Characters and Technical Animation Dave Komorowski, and Technical Supervisor Ernest Petty.
We have sheep, we have honey badgers, we have giraffes, we have foxes.
There's like hundreds of thousands of different characters.
And we need to make them look like there's something that's real, that's breathing, that is touchable.
That's my job.
To create the characters of Zootopia, we start out with artwork. Corey Loftus, our character designer, provides these beautiful drawings. Then we step into the modeling phase. Our modelers will take those drawings and recreate sculptures within the computer.
And then those sculptures come to my department, and we need to go in there and paint the colors and add texture and put the fur on them.
What did you find was the main differences between animal fur and human hair?
We discovered it wasn't, one additional problem moving from hair to fur. It was, as many problems as we had species of animals. Every animal's hair is different in its color, in its structure, how shiny it is, how rough it is.
For example, the polar bear fur is pretty special. It's sort of transparent with a kind of a hollow core.
I was pretty surprised by that.
I think there was another challenge just in how much fur there was on these characters. The humans we've done in the past, yeah, they have a head of hair, and the hair can be really long, but there's a few 100,000 hairs there.
So fluffy. Elsa had 400,000 hairs?
On her head, yeah.
I think Nick and Judy both had over 2 million hairs on their body. And then when you get to the giraffe, it's got over 9 million hairs.
So this is an animal world. Who makes their clothes?
Well, yeah, we did have to kind of decide whether at every scale, did they have tiny little factories for the mice, or they made tiny little clothes, or did they all shop at some general fabric store?
We're used to clothes that fit well on humans, but a nice shirt won't drape or feel right on a fox who has shoulders that are sloping down differently. A lot of different aspects really challenged what our normal sense of tailoring clothing and how it will work on these types of characters.
Some of the characters couldn't wear pants because their legs were so short, so they ended up only wearing shorts. But then when you cut out a little outfit for a mouse, it's going to be pretty stiff. But if you cut out a pair of pants for an elephant, it's actually going to feel like a tent because there's so much of it.
Yeah, and how do you tailor a shirt for a camel?
Or how do you put a T-shirt over a moose's head?
Challenges. Yes. How did fashion play a role in all of this?
It certainly ties into their personality. So there are characters like the mayor with his, really clean, sharp suit, as opposed to Bellwether in the beginning, where she's a little bit kind of frumpy, and eventually over time she becomes more powerful in the suits that she wears. It's a subtle color change.
And what about Nick?
Yeah, well, his like slightly off colors and loose tie, and his, they kind of convey like sly/con man.
It's called a hustle, sweetheart, and I'm not the liar. He is.
Well, I remember also with the fashion challenge, there was also a big technology challenge. I mean, if you take your big challenge in the movie and it's saying there's fur everywhere, that impacts every department pretty much across the entire show. We had to write a new, what's called a shader, to basically make light travel through the hair in a realistic way, which is something that we never needed to focus on before and had not been able to do.
The last time we had really done a movie with talking animals was Bolt.
And back in Bolt days as well, he wasn't wearing any clothing at the time.
Right.
I do recall there was a few scenes where Bolt had a collar on him.
Yeah.
That one collar caused a lot of sleepless nights and a long time just solving that one little problem. Now we fast forward to today, and we have wet, furry characters running in the rain with wind.
On top of trains.
On top of trains.
Yep.
All of that we could maybe do for a single character for a special scene sometime in the past, but to do it throughout the entire movie at this sort of scope and scale is something that we could not have done even a couple years ago. What would you say is the most fun part of working on this movie?
I really enjoyed the process of working on the thought he was a great character. I think he's really fun.
A lot of little details.
I love the character Clawhauser. He's my favorite character. He's a cheetah that's lost his way a little bit. He sits around and eats donuts, and, you know, I kind of relate to that.
I think the variety for me is what really made it unique. Every character was a different challenge and a different problem, and when you solved one, the next one could be almost completely different. Zootopia, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's been quite a journey.
There's so many little details. Getting through it all and looking at it, it was a great experience.